Smathers Libraries is the collection of libraries that serves the University of Florida. We have different libraries now on campus. We have some that are really large, like Library West or the Marston Science Library. We have some that are smaller and more specialized, like the departmental libraries, architecture and fine arts, or education, more focused on discipline-specific areas. Basically, it's a collection of libraries that serves the research enterprise at the University of Florida.
So we have subject specialists, pretty much every area, on every discipline on campus. Many of them are PhDs or they have graduate degrees. Because they know their specific field, they purchase based on what they know the curriculum at UF needs or the research of the faculty in their college. There's a structured approach to how we purchase materials.
Most of our work is kind of behind the scenes. People are able to access the things they need, they're able to get the materials they need, and we help them do that. Books have become less of an emphasis. We don't know what researchers 20 years down the road might need, so we try to keep these things. But the buildings themselves, because real estate is so precious on campus, it's really become more about the student experience for those spaces. This building is an effort to try and preserve things to make sure that they don't go missing, that they have the attention that they need, they don't get touched as much as other books, so they tend to last longer. Even the environment is intended to make sure that these books are preserved. This building houses microfilms, maps, LPs, and obviously books, bound periodicals. We also have a huge electronic collection. So we have our own digitization group that digitizes materials. We tend to focus more on things that aren't commonly available, or things that maybe you wouldn't think about a digital format for those things. Art, textiles, the manuscripts, and things like that that we have on campus that are really unique and really special, that are part of our archives.
We don't just serve the state of Florida. When the books come to us, they are now for the world. The world has access to this information. We digitally scan articles for other countries, other state universities, public libraries, sometimes even private individuals. So this knowledge is being shared and spread it out through the entire world.
With Google, we are able to digitize those things, so we have a more permanent record of that item. We also get to retain the print, and so that means that the print hopefully gets used even less, meaning it'll last even longer, and we can then utilize the digital to share with people on a broader scale than we'd ever be able to do with just a print volume.
One of the big things that like a research library generally has is special collections materials. So we have a lot of historic, really unique materials related to Latin America and the Caribbean, Judaica materials, Florida history, obviously. There's things in there that nobody else owns. Right now, we actually have scholars come in from all over because they want to use our Latin American and Caribbean collection, our Judaica collection. They're not going to have to do that for a lot of this stuff now. They're going to be able to sit at their desktop. It doesn't get much better than that for a researcher.
It is technically digitized, but it's only things that are out of copyright, that are in the public domain, that are completely available. And that moves every year based on the copyright law in the US. If they're still in copyright, they can't share the whole book, but they'll share snippets and you're allowed to search through the book for certain passages. And so that can be really helpful for a researcher. If you're just looking for a particular element, you can actually do a full text search. Whereas in the past, if you had a print book, if it had an index and you were lucky that it indexed a particular term, you might be able to find that in the book itself. Otherwise, you were flipping through and trying to find the reference. In that way, Google has really transformed how people do research as well. You have this opportunity to do full text searches on large volumes of books and across a corpus that you never had the opportunity to do before. We started digitizing back in 1999. So about 25 years we've been doing that. We've managed to digitize about 17% of our collection, which we have 1.1 million volumes digital that we've done. Our print collection is like over 6.5 million volumes. So we've done 17% in 25 years. Google, in the first 3 years of the Google Book Project, did more than 7 million books. They're able to do things at a scale that's not possible for us. Even if we reallocated everybody on our staff and gave up every other thing we have to do for the university, I don't know that we'd still be able to get there. It's a really amazing example of a public-private partnership that allows us to capitalize on the things that we do well and the things that they do really well, the innovation, the technology, the ability to really ramp up rapidly and accomplish these targets that we would never be able to accomplish on our own. Thus far, we've sent a little over 64,000 books to Google.
We do all of the shipping and receiving of the items. We do the pulling, the retrieving, and we do the refiling. After they're scanned by Google, they're returned to their shelving to their appropriate locations.
When Google started the Library Books project in 2004, libraries in general were a little skeptical at first about what this project was going to be. Were they somehow going to monetize this and take advantage of libraries? Were libraries going to be cut out? And that's not been the case at all. They've been very open about sharing the data and sharing the information. And it's really increased access all around the world. I don't think any of us envisioned how broadly this would be available. I mean, countries all over the world that would never be able to access these things because they don't have the resources to get them. Now they have access to those. And it's not just universities, it's just regular people using Google. So it's a pretty amazing and ambitious project when you think about it. If you go to Google, there's a link for Google Books, and you can click on that, and from there you can type in your search, and that's going to bring up all the records. You have the capacity to search across the entire collection. You can limit by certain subjects or disciplines or date ranges. So it really has a lot of power to hone in on what you're trying to find.
If you've got access to the internet and you have a device of any type, you can pull up Google Books and you can search it and use it. And that's one of the things that really made us want to be part of it, is stuff's out there, it's available to everybody.